What is up, everybody? It's Revv time. Today I am checking out the Northern Mauler. Now that is the new signature pedal. It's the second one in the Revv line, the first one being myself. The second one, Revv has teamed up with a guy named Glenn Fricker. Now Glenn is way into like Swedish metal and all the dark metals and just any metal that is scary to somebody like me who is delicate and bruises easily. But that being said, I knew I could probably employ this pedal in a way that would work for myself. In this case, we'll call it the Northern Mauler Light. But it still sounds really cool. My approach was more along the lines of maybe how I would use a Rat pedal, but it's quite a bit more versatile than that. But I thought I would just briefly go through how I arrived at the sounds for like the rhythm parts and the two solo parts, because on one side of the pedal you do have that HM2 circuit, and though that is a circuit that's well loved by metal players, there are cats like David Gilmour who have used that particular circuit for soloing, and it's always sounded cool. It's kind of almost like a fuzz thing. And there's blues guys that have used that circuit. So I thought I would try and get that thing going in that performance a little bit, and then just kind of do more what I would do with a pedal like this. So I started with just my my D20, just running direct. And we'll start with the rhythm kind of sound that I still can't play tight, but that's on the G side of the pedal, which is kind of that G4 meets G3 somewhere in the middle. And I did blend a little bit of the HM2, so check it out. So that was the rhythm sound. I used this guitar and my PRS 245 hollow, left and right. So you can kind of hear how that's styled. I added a little bit of low end on one side, but for the most part, just let the guitars kind of be what they were through the box. And actually that sound was very similar to the solo tone that I dialed up with the Tyler guitar. This is pretty close. I think I dialed maybe a little bit darker, but yeah, so not a ton of gain. I don't have it dialed so it's like super tight, but I don't really play that style anyways. So that's how I arrived at the rhythm parts. And then for that first kind of Gilmour thing, the way to make that really work is to go with kind of a longer delay. Let me see if I can recreate that here in the old television set. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of this somewhat modulated delay thing. Let me see if I can make it a little bit brighter. I moved closer to the HM side and basically rolled the mids back on the drive side and turned the treble up. Maybe roll some lows out, maybe even more treble, maybe just a little more gain. So you kind of get the idea. I was able to, do the kind of Gilmore thing, but then just as easily, all I did to go back to like a solo voice was roll more towards the G series side, add some bass back, put the mids a little bit closer to where they were, and off to the races with the bridge position on that Tyler. So yeah, I mean, I thought this would be fun to take a swing at using this pedal more along the lines of, within the lines or parameters of my style of playing. And it's obviously not a pedal that I would use on the regular, but at the same time, I found it to be really usable for that exact thing that I do. I mean, even though that's kind of a more rocking track or whatever, it still sits within my wheelhouse. It's like I wrote it, so it wasn't like a massive struggle to play it. It wasn't like I had to step way out of my element to do that type of track. And yeah, I was able to dial the Northern Mauler in to kind of fit my parameters. So let me know what you guys think of that, and let me know what you think of the pedal in general, especially a lot of you metal cats that have checked it out. I'm just not, as you guys know all too well, that hip to that whole scene. When I hear that type of playing, it's really gratifying and actually haunting when I hear guys that can really do that. But it's definitely not my cup of tea as a player. So I would love to hear from guys like and gals that play that style. So yeah, type away in the comments section. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.